Hey guys, welcome back to the 2011 Collective. My name is Clay, and today, boys, we got a first impressions video on my brand new Jacob Grey TWC9 Hex. As you guys can see here, this is in the duty green with the black slide and the PVD high polished rose gold barrel. I really love the color combination on this gun. To give you a little bit of background on this gun before we dive down to the desktop, I had an opportunity to shoot this back in December of last year. I also had at their facility. My wife's grandparents live pretty close to their facility, so I'd asked, like, hey, can I come out and check it out? And they agreed, and that's kind of how I was able to go out there and meet those guys. And then fast forward a month later, I went out to SHOT Show, got to shoot the Hex at the Atlas booth at Range Day. Everyone seemed to be really impressed with the Hex. I was impressed with it. It actually won Best Pistol at SHOT Show for 2025, so it's got a little bit of prestige behind it. So there's that. But without further ado, let's jump down to the desktop. We're going to go through all of our little checks that I like to do, and then we'll get you guys back up top for some closing comments. See you down there. All right, boys, we're back down here at the desktop with the Jacob Grey TWC Hex model. We're going to go over the specs. We're going to cover what you get out of the box with your purchase. We're going to get into some of the differences between the Hex and the Black for those interested in that, and then we'll wrap everything up with some of our fitment checks that we always do. So with that being said, let's jump right into the star of the show, which is this 4 1/4 inch Commander Length 2011 build that is purpose-built for carry, weighing in at a lightweight of 30 ounces unloaded with some factory V-style porting. Man, it's really cool that a lot of the manufacturers are now getting on the porting side for those who like that option. Some dudes don't like it, some dudes love it, so just your mileage may vary with that. But let's jump into the materials here on this gun. This has got a 4/16 stainless steel bull barrel. It's got a 4140 steel slide with a 7075 aluminum frame and grip. Now let's get into the coatings here on this gun, and this is what I love about this thing. It has got this beautiful high polished PVD rose gold color on the barrel here. The slide has got a black nitride finish, and the aluminum frame and grip have a hard anodized duty green color. I absolutely love this color combination. When I saw it back in December of last year, and then I saw it again at SHOT Show, I was like, dude, this thing is drop dead sexy. I love the colorway on this. But if you're not into this, because looks are very subjective, they've got some different options for you. They've got like a black and a duty brown, and then you can mix and match the barrel color. So they got something for everybody, which is nice to always have an option when you're building out your guns. So that's cool. Now, let's get to the kind of the top of the gun here. Again, this is for carry, so it's got this really cool tritium front sight post on the gun. Pull the slide back here for you so you guys can see the V-style porting. Look at that sucker right there. That's really nice to see, and then get a little better view of that high polish on that bull barrel. Man, that thing is gorgeous. And as you can see, we have got the window cuts for the ports for those gases to escape, and then you've got the really cool X kind of slide serrations there for easy gun manipulation if you like to rack her up from the top, which is cool. Staying at the top of the gun, all the way back here, we're talking red dot stuff here. This comes with an RMR plate, but as you can see, mine has got a Defender XL with that Delta Point Pro footprint, and then you can kind of see the co-witness for your backup iron sight. So that's, like I said, got your red dot, got your backup, so that's always nice to see. And then, of course, we will talk about the internals of this gun. So, laying the gun flat here, the internals, we've got a toolless guide rod for easy takedown. It has got a 12-pound recoil spring. The hammer spring, I believe, on this guy is a 17-pound main or hammer spring, and that's kind of normal springing weights on 4 1/4 inch guns. And then it's got a Series 70 Jacob Grey ignition kit in this dude. We have got ambi safeties for you lefties, so we got you covered from the right, and we got you covered from the left, which is always nice. I have got mine outfitted with a Surefire X300. I rock this for holster compatibility. Moving back into the rear of the gun, this gun has got a non-functional pin grip safety, so that's always nice to see. And then let's talk about this this Jacob Grey one-piece trigger real quick. So out of the box, I want to put a disclaimer on this one because mine, I was there maybe 3 weeks ago for the shooting some Nox 9 testing on their new gun, and they always ask me, like, hey, you know, what's your gun cleaned or whatever? And I was like, well, I don't need it cleaned because it's brand new. But if you could drop the trigger weight, so from factory, mine went from about 3.5 pounds. Now mine's riding about 2.4. But prior to, they're pretty spot on with their trigger weights out of the box. They've got that pretty much dialed in. So it is a 3.5 pound trigger. I just wanted to put that as a disclaimer. That's why I'm not doing trigger pull weights on this this first impressions. But we're going to go over the trigger real quick. Love that. This is how I like my take up right here. Just a little bit of take up, and then you hit that firm wall, press through, got that clean break as all these 2011s do. And then the reset on this dude here, I'll show it to you. It's got a forceful reset. It's a little bit longer of a reset on this trigger. It does not have an adjustable over travel screw because it's got that one-piece design. So it is milled and spec to this grip module. So keep that in mind, boys. But with that being said, the trigger on this thing is really, really, really nice. Moving into my favorite thing on all Jacob Grey guns. I'm not gonna lie, dude, I am an absolute fanboy of Jacob Grey grips. I said it on my black review. Anytime I see a Jacob Grey gun, I know immediately that who made it. Like it's because it's their grip module. It stands out. It's different. I love my Atlas, the Chilis, PTs, all the different grip manufacturers, man. Like, but there is just something different about this grip module that draws me in. And I'm gonna tell you something right now, boys. Not to get off on a beaten path here, but that Nox 9 grip module, which is different than this grip module, oh my god, that thing is like, it is like fit like a glove to your hand, man. I think a lot of dudes, when they start getting those Nox 9s in hands, they're gonna really think that grip is it's an amazing grip and grip ergos on that thing, and that gun is an absolute monster to shoot. But I'm talking about the Hex. Sorry, I get a little excited about the Nox 9, man. I absolutely just love that friggin' gun. But the grip on this gun, as you can see, it's got these really cool hexagon patterns here. It's got a more textured side than the black. We'll get into that as we cover the differences between the two models. But as I always say, you got this really cool cutout to get, you know, just kind of like a memory bump to be able to get up on your trigger there. You rotate the gun around. It's got this really flat facing part of the grip here. It's a little bit smoother up front, as you can see, and then when you rotate the gun around, it has got this little memory bump out, so it just guides your thumb right into the mag release button, which is kind of your Goldilocks, so that's really nice to see. And then you turn the gun around and you check out the mainspring housing. Excuse my chalk and my dead skin when I was zeroing this guy, but that checkering goes all the way up onto the memory bump, into that pin grip safety, so that is really nice to see. And then finishing everything up with the flared mag well down here. This is integrated, okay? So again, duty carry kind of design, so you don't print, you know, get a big old honking mag well. But as you can see, this is part of the grip module, and it's got some beveled edges, angled for easier reloads here. So that's always nice to see. And I actually, one of the things too I love, and it's got that little pinky ledge for your pinky to kind of to ride on there right there. So that's to kind of lock your grip in. So that's a nice feature on the little integrated magwell. So I think that is it for all of the specs here. Let's jump into what you get out of the box. You get 2 Checkmate mags here with your purchase, and again, it comes with an RMR plate. You get this really cool little Jacob Grey bag, range bag. A lot of the 2011s come with this dude with your magazine slots there. But this is what I wanted to talk about too, right? Okay, so my black, when I bought it, it came with all the plates. So effective 15 April, when I got this guy in, they went from sending you all the plates to just sending you the RMR plate. And then what's cool is if you just want the RMR, you can just scan your code here, and then they'll give you all the cool free swag and gift the extra magazine. Or you can get the pick one plate, which is what I want, because I'm now rocking the Delta Point Pro footprint, and I got a hat and another 17 round mag. So that's really cool. So they're not wasting money and time and resources, and you get the plates that you need, and you're not sitting, because there's other programs where you don't get any plates at all, and then you got to wait for the plate to come in, which kind of sucks. But Jacob Grey does not do that. They give you the most popular one right out of the box, and then if you want an extra one, you gotta request it. But everything's free, shipped to the house, so that's cool. All right, I showed you on my last video too. I love about this is they give you the instructions for how to fasten your red dot. So it shows you the fastener screws that correspond with your optic, and takes all the guesswork out of it, and everything is labeled nicely in the bag, so it makes it very easy for folks to get their red dot kind of hooked up on their slide, for us smooth brain folks. So I appreciate that. So that is it for kind of what you get out of the box. Let's jump into, and we're going to briefly just cover this because I'm not sure if anybody's on the fence, but I want to be thorough and cover the different specs between the SKUs here. One disclaimer here on this gun: my black is not stock anymore. Okay, so it's been ported. They pinned my grip safety. I've changed the ignition kit out on this, and I upgraded the thumb safeties on my gun to Atlas, because I'm a big Atlas high ride thumb safety guy. So with that being said, I still have the naturally aspirated or bull barrel for my black. So what I'm going to do in the review when I go out to do some of my shooting footage is I'm going to put this back in my black, and then we're going to shoot these guys next to each other, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on recoil management. So if anybody's on the fence, do I go ported, non-ported? Hopefully I can give you guys some feedback on that, and help you out with that department. So with that being said, let's jump into the really big differences between the two models here. The biggest one is again the porting, right? So the Hex is ported, the black is not ported. The other big departure is the grip texture. The black is a little bit smoother. The grip texture still bitey enough. Didn't have any issues when I was shooting it during my review. And then the Hex is definitely got more aggressive texture. And this is going to be very subjective, guys. Like, what I've learned in my travels is there are people who absolutely want cheese grater, and then there are people who don't want their hands beat up. So I feel like it's a nice option here where, if you want a little smoother grip, the black will probably be more what you want. And if you want more of an aggressive grip, and it's not cheese grater by no means either. It's just got enough bite to where you really feel it. Those hexagon patterns really dig in your hand. So that's, again, nice option to have for grip texture. The other thing is the Hex has got a pin grip safety. The black does not. It's got two safety mechanisms. You've got your thumb safeties and your grip safeties on the black. So if you want that extra layer of safety, I personally don't really care, but some people do. So that's the black would probably be more up your alley in that department. And then last but certainly not least is the trigger shoes. You can see this has got a skeleton trigger, and this one's got like a hexagon shaped trigger. And this one, hopefully you can see, this is more of a, let's see if I can see. Yeah, they're both, like, I want to say that this one is a little bit more flat facing than the Hex. And of course it's got a little texture on the front of here as well, like the black does, but it's got a little hexagon, but it looks like this one's got a little bit more of a curve. It's still a flat face, but it's more of like a little hybrid. So again, just something that I've noticed. I don't know, maybe I'm off on that one, but that's it for the differences between the black and the Hex. Now let's get into my my favorite thing on when I get a new gun, which is our fitment checks and our blending. So let's jump into the fitment on these guys. So now I have a sample size of 2 to kind of, and then I've got my hands on a ton of these Hex models and blacks, and for being at their shop and at all the shows. And what I will tell you boys is their fitment slide to frame is really tight. They do these on a CNC machine, so these are all cut in, but they hold really tight tolerance. Like, there is absolutely no movement on the back of the gun here. You move to the front of the gun, you'll find, like I did on my black, like there's a little bit of lateral movement, and hopefully you guys can, like, just a little bit. I mean, we're talking like a couple thousand. I mean, it's like virtually nothing, but again, just want to be able to articulate the tolerances. And this gun, like I said, after 3,000 rounds, man, the slide on the back it loosened up just a little bit. Like, I can feel just a hair of rock, but this gun, this black, is still really super tight. And I've got some, a decent amount of rounds on it to like I said, for that gun to break in. And these guns are holding tolerances really well, from what I can see, which is always a good thing, right? Because you're paying, boys. Everybody always asks, like, why is this gun more expensive? Not tolerances, build quality, fit and finish, the normal stuff, your bells and whistles, right? And so if that's important to you, again, that's why I like to try to articulate and explain what I see in my sample sizes here on my bench. All right, so let's get into the most important part of any fitment check, which is your barrel lockup and your barrel fitment. There's another check that I learned that I'm going to do in part 3 when I take this gun down, and that's checking the slide stop and the barrel link and seeing how it corresponds with the barrel lugs at the bottom and how that rides up into the slide, and see how that slide stop moves freely and all that stuff. So that's a new check that I'm going to do. But for my bro science here, when I get a new gun, we're just going to check and to see if there's any movement in the barrel. And again, the lockup on all these guns are really solid. Just check your front. There's no movement. It's got fit really nice up into the slide, and of course you've got your reverse plug, your barrel support to assist with all that. So that's really nice to see. Let's get into the next check, which is our grip to frame. Put your gun up on an angle, and we're looking for just kind of daylight, if there's any egregious tolerances or anything like that. I will tell you, they're not egregious by no means, but there is, and you can't see it directly, like when you're just looking at it with the naked eye. But if you put your gun up and you have to rotate it on an angle, there is just just a sliver of light, like right here, and we're talking like virtually nothing, guys. But again, I want to be able to call out what I see. But the tolerances are really tight up from the grip into the frame here, so it's solid. It's just something that I've noticed when I do this check. So let's move into kind of our small parts fitment here. Let's go over thumb safeties. You guys know I love me my thumb safeties here. Very tactile, very stiff. You want to push down on your safety. You want to check to see where the detent rides into the thumb safety here, and if that's in its correct orientation and seated properly, you won't get any mush. So this one is rock solid, which is always nice to see. Check your ambi side or make sure these aren't loose. My next gun review on my other gun, dude, they came with loose ones, and I had to correct those. But that's what we're checking. That's why we do these checks right here, boys. Very nicely fit on these guys. Really nice to see. Trigger fitment on this guy, really solid. I do feel just a little bit of vertical play in the trigger up and down. Side to side seems really solid, but there's a little bit, again, you got to have enough. You don't want these triggers binding, so they need to move freely, but you don't want them so loose where they're rattling around, which is the next test. You get them in, you do your shake test here, just shake your gun around. I don't hear anything. Like I said, when I shake my gun, again, that's just like a non-scientific. I'm just checking for any type of rattle cans that I've got on my gun. This gun seems to be buttoned up really, really nicely. And then what else do we got here? I think that is it as far as all the small parts, and of course the mag release button. It's really nice. No issues there, no binding, very nice and smooth. All right, now that we got all of our fitment checks kind of out of the way, let's go over blending and polishing. This is one of my favorite categories. I want to just, like I said, briefly kind of cover this on this gun. One of the cool things too is I've learned more information about guns and different things is this is actually what they would call a short stroke, and what that means is, if you can look over, you cannot see the disconnector on this guy. So this slide, when it recoils and it comes back, it does not go past the disconnector head. So on the government slides, they'll go past, and then you kind of get that friction. You'll feel that disconnector as it comes across the strip rail. The short stroke 4 1/4s don't do that, and that's, like I said, when you grab these things, you can really feel like they're really super smooth. And of course, like when these parts come off the machine, they go to the deburr station, they deburr all the guns, they polish everything up under the hood as they prep this gun for coating. So again, one of the things that kind of stand out on this gun for me is just kind of that smooth action that you feel for sliding your frame. So that's always nice to see on the polishing. And then on the blending part, you can see back here, show you the back part of the gun. Pull the hammer back so you can get a little bit better. You can see where the slide is here, and as it transitions up into the extractor, it's really super smooth through here. And then when you get to the top, it's got about a fingernail of proudness, I mean, we're splitting hairs here, guys, but just like I said, just something that I can see. Got a finger and hair of proudness on the extractor right here. It's got a nice transition between the slide and the frame as it comes down here into the beaver tail. Nice, smooth, don't see any issues there. The other thing that I really love about these guns, and more importantly about the frame, is that it's all round. The corners are all rounded off and deburred here, man. I really like that. It makes it a really comfortable gun to be able to get your hand up on. And of course, you want to check as it transitions from the grip safety into the actual grip itself. It's got a nice smooth transition between there. No kind of raised edges or hot spots. So again, the blending on this gun seems really nice. No issues that I can, are egregious or anything crazy that I can see. So I am really digging that, boys. And that, I believe, is everything on that I wanted to cover on the desktop review here for first impression. So we're going to close this out, get you guys up top for some closing thoughts. All right, boys, we are back up top with the Jacob Grey Hex here. I hope you guys enjoyed the desktop footage as I walk you through all the tech specs, the differences between the Hex and the Black here. Hopefully that helped explain the differences in the model. And of course, showcasing all the fitment checks on the Hex here. So far, so good on the sample size of 1. But again, as I always do, boys, I'm gonna get this guy out to the range. We're gonna shoot 1,500 rounds through it. We're gonna give you my grading assessment on the gun. And then in part 3, it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm actually going to show you how to take this gun completely apart outside of the ejector. I won't take the ejector off, but take this gun apart so somebody can do a deep clean on this, and just being able to, just for educational purposes, I'm not going to be modifying any parts on the gun or anything like that. Just again, just showing you how to take this apart in case you want to maintenance it. And that is about it, boys. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will catch you again on the next video. Peace, y'all.